So today we are making a video on Pardus Linux GNOME desktop environment. So let's quickly boot it in a live boot. So here you need to choose your language. I'm choosing English, and here is the boot menu, which is Pardus Live, graphical installer and other install options. Let's check it. So these are all the options you get, and under the utilities you should be getting this information. And let me quickly boot it in a live boot. And I'm running it on a virtual machine, which is VMware, with 60 GB of hard disk, 8 GB of RAM, and my CPU is i5 1240p. And also the booting process will take like a 2 or 3 minutes usually in my PC. Most of the Linux distro will consume that much of time. So I'm going to mention how much of time it's going to take as soon as the desktop layout loads. So let's wait and see. So here we have the Pardus Linux GNOME desktop environment. It just took like a 40 seconds to boot up the desktop layout. So I'm going to open the system monitor. So I want to see how much of resources it consumes as soon as you boot up the Linux distro. So I didn't open any of the applications, or I didn't change even display settings. So you should be seeing everything here as soon as the boot up. So these are all the process will run as soon it's booted up. And let's go to the resources. So it's consuming 1.4 GB of RAM of 8 GB, and the CPU should be, we need to run like 60 seconds to get how much of stable is the CPU. So I need to let it run until the 60 seconds. So as you can see, there is already a high peak here. So the RAM went almost 1.5 GB. Let's check the version about the system monitor. You get the 42.0. And on the CPU side, it's not pretty much stable, as you can see. So we are not having anything running in the background. We didn't open any of the applications, but it's still consuming 100%, and nearly it's pretty much unstable, you can say it like that. So here we got almost like 46 software updates available. I'm going to close it. So we need to see. So it's almost 60 seconds. As you can see, there is no stable graph, but there is a high peak here for some reason. For almost like 15 to 20 seconds of graph is high. So I'm going to put the system monitor in the right side corner so you can see all the changes. So let me change the display settings now and get all the information. So let's change the display, which is 1920 into 1080. So these are all the available resolutions you have in the display settings. I have the 16:9 ratio. I'm going to apply, keep it. So there is no fractional scaling, but you get the 100% and 200% here. Let's go to the about section and see what are the changes and what is the information about the Pardus Linux. So device name, I'm running it on a live boot, so you should be seeing the Pardus Linux. So here is my CPU, the graphics, and the disk capacity. Operating system, Pardus Linux 23. I don't know what you should be called. Ermic, I think. So the GNOME version not available right now. Windows System X11. So I'm going to show you the GNOME desktop version. So I'm going to close these things, and I'm going to put the system monitor in the right side corner. So let's open the internet browser, which is a Firefox web browser, and go to the official website and get all the information from there, and also the downloading process I'm going to show there. So the cache is almost 1.9 GB and the memory is 1.7 GB. So it's consuming a lot of hardware specs here. Not the hardware specs, it's consuming a lot of hardware here. So remember that I'm running it on a virtual machine, and also I'm running it on a RAM. So it should be more here. But when you install it on the bare metal, it should be like a 300-400 MB difference. So you don't see a major difference there when you install it on the bare metal. And also it's a GNOME desktop environment. You already know how much of resources the GNOME desktop environment will consume. So the version you get 115.13.0. So the latest version is 129. So these are all the information. Let me type in about support. About support to get some distro browser information. So here is the build ID and the information or the version of the browser. You should be seeing the operating system theme here, and the Linux kernel you get is a 6.1.0-22. So the latest version of the kernel is 6.10, and also memory size is also available right here. Disk space available 3.6 GB. I need to scroll it down to get other information. So here are some of the important information. If you consider as important, you can just pause the video and read everything. So if you doesn't, just skip this part and get to the main part in the video. So the window protocol, you get the X11, the GNOME desktop environment, you will get the GNOME. And when you scroll it down, you should be getting all the information. So I'm going to go to the official website now. So let's search Pardus Linux. Pardus Linux. So just search with the Pardus Linux and you should be good with the first link. So you should be finding the first link as the official website, or else you can just type in https or www.pardus.org. So click on the link. So the resources of CPU is very high, as you can see. I don't know what's the issue, but it's consuming a lot of resources. When you go to the process, you should be seeing here. So these are all the processes running right now. So it's clearly up to you to judge whether to use this Linux distro or not. So I'm going to change the language here. So it's a bit, I think it's Turkish. So it's automatically changed to English, so we don't need to worry about it. So here are all the information. So I already made a lot of videos on Pardus Linux in my channel, sorry. So in order to download, you just need to click on download and you should be seeing all the available downloads. So here are all the information like a Pardus release about the 23.2. So this is the latest version. So here you need to have the system requirements of this much. So if you have the Xfce, you just need 1 GB of RAM, 8 GB plus a hard disk, and the graphics processor with the display resolution is available right here. But when you go with the GNOME desktop environment, you need to have 2 GHz 64-bit, RAM is almost like a 2 GB plus, and hard disk you need a 15 GB plus, and you need to have the 1366 x 768 resolution with 16 MB of VRAM. So we are good with the system requirements because we have the i5 CPU which is at 1240p, and also RAM I have like a 8 GB of RAM, and this is the case if I have all those things more than the recommended requirements. So these are all the resources which will be happening even if you have a good hardware specs. So here are all the other available options of the downloads. And for the release note, you can just click on the latest release notes and you should be getting all the information there. Let's check it. So here you should be seeing 23.1, but I downloaded the 23.2, so there is no information about the 23.2. So here are the changes of 23.1. I think I already made the video of 23.1, but I don't have any information about the 23.2. So the people who are already using the older version, when I show everything here, you should be seeing all the changes on your own. But if you ask me, I really don't remember anything because I'll be posting 2 videos daily without missing. So it's pretty much very hard to remember anything. So these are all the changes of 23.1, and whatever I open applications or do things, you should be seeing all the changes there. So let's click on download and let's try to download the ISO file. I'm going to show you the downloading process because some of the users need some. So here is the weekly release. Let's see what version we have here. So 21.5, I think it's an older version. I'm not going to download this. I'm going to show you the version I downloaded. So this is the version I downloaded. So click on download, and here is our ISO file. So the file size is around 2.6 GB, and I'm using a VPN, so that's the reason it's pretty much slow. So if you have a good internet speed, you should be good with the ISO file. You should be downloading in 3 or 4 minutes. I'm going to close the browser because there is nothing left there. So I'm going to open the terminal and put in some commands. So these are all the pre-installed applications you get in the Pardus Linux. So some icons are changed, so that's a good thing. So the color themes is also good. Blue and white is pretty much my favorite colors. So here is the version Pardus 23.2. I don't know what it is. I think it's a code name or something like that. So the GNOME desktop environment you get is 43.9, and in the settings it didn't show because we need to put in some commands, or maybe it takes some time there. So the Linux kernel I already mentioned, CPU, GPU and RAM and public IP and all this information is right here. About the app, so you get the 0.6.3 version here. So let's open the terminal. So these are all the applications, utilities. To basically get almost every GNOME desktop environment app, and some applications are added from the Pardus Linux. You don't get any bloatware or anything like that, just the official website or the official Linux distros applications. So console version is 43.0. Let's try the NeoFetch. Hit enter. So we need to install the NeoFetch, so let's do that. Let me copy it. Let me paste. So it didn't let me paste it. Let me copy it again. Let me paste. So it doesn't allow me to paste. So let me type in sudo apt install NeoFetch. Hit enter. Let me click on Y. Hit enter, and it's going to take a few seconds or a minute, so you need to be wait for this. So let's check the desktop features instead of waiting for that. So you get the GNOME desktop environment. So here are some of the features you get in the taskbar, and you should be getting also the updates, which are 46 updates. You can change the settings if you want, according to your wish. Let's check the about 0.3.0. So NeoFetch is installed, so let me type in NeoFetch. Hit enter. So here is all the information, which is operating system Pardus Linux 23, YARMUIC, and the kernel version. Uptime is almost 12 minutes. Packages 1926, and bash version 5.2.15. Display resolution, the GNOME version, Mutter, Advaita, and here is my CPU, and the RAM is almost 1.5 GB. So let me type in INXI. I hope the INXI is pre-installed. So INXI is pre-installed. So here you should be seeing the INXI version 3.3.26 and other version which is already mentioned in the NeoFetch. So software update, we already know that. So let me type in INXI -b. Let it load. So here you should be seeing the system information, like a desktop environment, distro information. Here is the machine. I'm running it on a virtual machine, which is a VMware, which I already mentioned. Here is the CPU version or the CPU information. Here is the graphics information, which is a display X11, Xarch version 1.21.1.7 with the XVLAND version 22.1.9, VMWGFX version 2.20.0.0, and here is the display resolution. OpenGL version 4.3, Mesa 22.3.6, and here is the network information, the drives info and all those things. Let me type in INXI -F, hit enter. So you should be seeing some added information right here. I'm going to go up and read everything here. Here is the system information, same as the above. So the machine, here is the GPU, the graphics version, and here you added the audio information. So for some of the viewers who want the audio information, Pipewire version 0.3.65, ELSA version, and also the network, drives, partitions, and all the other information. Let me scroll it down. Let me type in INXI -G, hit enter. So here is all the information. So we already know all this information. Let me type in cat /etc/issue. Hit enter, and here you can see Pardus Linux 23. So if I get any information of the 23.2, I'm going to put it in the description. You don't need to worry about it. So most of the things I will be showing in the video, but if I forgot anything, I'm going to provide it in the description. So let me type in inxi-sv8, hit enter. So this command will grab complete distro information, so it will be giving all the information. So let's go and check all those things. So here is the complete information of the system, like the boot and the compiler GCC version, which is a 12.2.0, and GTK version 3.24.38, and also we have the GDM3 version 43.0. So you get all the information here. Here is the virtual machine information. Here is the memory, which is a RAM. It's consuming 1.77 GB here, but it shows 1.9 GB, which is cache 2.3 GB. So here is the complete CPU information. Let me scroll it down, and also you should be seeing all the vulnerabilities here. Till here you can read it right here, just pausing the video. Here is the graphics, and here is the display information, which is already mentioned in the beginning. Here is the available monitor resolutions. So you get a lot of resolutions here, which I already showed in the beginning also. So OpenGL Mesa version already mentioned. Here is the complete audio information. Let me scroll it down. So here you should be seeing the network information, and also you should be seeing, if you have like a Bluetooth, you should be seeing all the information about the Bluetooth. For in my case, it's not I didn't install the Bluetooth, so it says no Bluetooth found. So here are the partitions, unmounted USB, and all those things. You just need to scroll it down, or you can just pause video and read everything here. Like a repos and all those things are right here, and also the process and other information is right here. So bash version, GCC version, which I already mentioned. So wakeups 270, init systemd version 252. So let's type in htop, hit enter. So htop is not pre-installed, so I don't want to even install the htop. So I'm going to close the terminal, and I'm going to show you the installation. So I'm not going to install, but I'm going to show you the process of installation for some of the users who doesn't know how the installer looks in every Linux distro. So there is some changes in the installer. So it's not same as the Calamares installer, but the same steps will be in almost every Linux distro. Let me choose the automated install. So this will delete all the data available. So I'm not going to do that. Let's click on next. So first you need to choose your language. I'm going to keep it like the English. Click on next, and the keyboard, choose your variant. I'm choosing the English United States and the default one. If you want, you can test here by typing the keyboard layout. Click on next, and here you need to see the time zone or where you want it's clearly the location. So choose your location. I'm choosing the map instead of drop down menu. So Los Angeles, America, or else you can just click on the location and search your location here. Click next. Here you need to choose your partitions. So first you need to choose your installation destination, or the hard disk or a virtual disk, whatever it is. So if you have the multiple, just click on the drop down menu and you should be seeing the multiple hard disk. Choose the specific hard disk, and it's going to erase everything, and you can choose the install system updates with the updates, or else you can just uncheck it. So it's going to erase whatever it's available in that specific installation destination. It's going to erase the current operating system. If you have the current operating system, it's going to erase, and it's going to install the Pardus Linux in that. Even if you have the multimedia files, it's going to erase everything whatever it's available in that specific drive. And the other option is manual partitioning. It's clearly like you need to create a partition before choosing this option. And when you choose the partition, it's going to install the Pardus Linux in that specific partition. And in the boot menu, you should be seeing the 2 operating systems or dual boot options in the boot menu. And the one will be the current operating system, and the partition created will be the Pardus Linux 23.2. So you should be seeing 2 operating systems. So when you click on next, you need to create a user account, which is username, password, and all those things. So it's clearly easy to install the Linux distro. If you want to install the Linux distro on the virtual disk or main disk or whatever it is, so you need to watch tutorials before doing anything, because if you are a new user or a newcomer to the Linux, it's better to watch tutorials. So I already made a lot of videos in my channel because I cover like 3000 videos, but I don't want you to recommend that much of lengthy videos, because I didn't make any installation tutorials, just the specific only installation tutorials of Linux distros, because I made almost like a complete information of the specific Linux distros videos. That's the reason my videos will be like a 25 to 30 minutes lengthy. So that's the reason I'm recommending you to watch like a short videos of 2 or 3 minutes in the YouTube channels. There are a lot of YouTube channels who make the installation, just the installation videos. You can just watch those videos, because I don't want you to get bored just watching installation in my channel. So that's the reason I am recommending you. So after installing, if you liked it, always don't watch someone's video and try to install it on your main PC or work PC. If you want to change the operating system and you need to get all the information from all the sources, don't just watch my video and others' video. Just search it on your own on the Google and all those things. Watch videos, and after you're satisfied with the current operating system or the specific Linux distro, you can just install it on your main PC or work PC. Don't blindly just watch someone's video and try to install it, because if you already have the stable operating system, it's a bad idea to change the operating system. But if you still want to do it, get all the information and then go with the installation. So that's a tip from me. So let's get back to the video. Let's close the installation, because I don't want to install, because I need to make another video. So we pretty much covered everything. So let's go with the desktop things like a background and all those things. So as you can see, CPU went again high. So it is taking a bit of time to open some basic things. So GNOME desktop environment, you already know it takes a bit of time. And here is the appearance. There is a dark theme, which is pretty common in GNOME desktop environment, which is available from all the versions. So there is nothing changed here, but you get the 4 wallpapers from the Pardus Linux. So this is the default one. I think they are still loading, so let's wait and see. So most of the wallpapers are from the GNOME desktop environment, and a few are added from the Pardus Linux. So it's still loading, so we need to wait until it loads everything. So there are wallpapers, lot of wallpapers available when you scroll it down. So they are still loading. I thought there are just a few wallpapers, but they added a lot of wallpapers, and also they looks pretty much nice. They are completely most of them are from like a nature and some architects and all those things. So still going, there are a lot of wallpapers available. There are plenty of wallpapers available right here. I think that's end, I think. So as you can see, there are like almost like a 50 wallpapers, I guess. So I'm going to choose some other wallpaper. I like the theme of a blue and white combination for the wallpapers, and I'm going to choose the nature wallpapers because I love the nature wallpapers. So just a basic grass and land will be pretty much pleasing to eyes. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to change the default appearance to light. So this is the wallpaper I choose. So it's pretty much smooth, and so the wallpaper is a HD wallpaper. You get the HD wallpaper, so that's pretty nice, simple and nice. So I'm going to go with the activities, and let's check the settings. So network, nothing changed. Bluetooth, appearance we already saw. The notifications, So clearly there is nothing changed here, so you get the GNOME desktop environment. So I don't think anything is here. Let's close. Let's check the updates. So we have updates here, so we need to see what updates we get in the Pardus Linux. Let me open the updates. Home page. Let's check the updates. So these are all the updates you get. The file size of the updates are like a 180 MB, 46 and newly installed one. So required disk space or the disk size is a 408.3 MB. So these are all the updates we are getting. So I'm not going to update or do anything because I want to keep most of the thing as the default. So these are all the things you get. So I'm going to close it. So let's check the applications. What it is, it's a Pardus Software Center. Let's open it. So here we have a Software Center. So it's going to take a few seconds or maybe minutes. So I'm going to do some other things instead of waiting for that. Let's open the file manager. So let me do a stress test. So basically a stress test in my channel is like opening a bunch of applications which consumes a bit of resources to see whether the Linux distro will handle the day-to-day task. So if we find any like a not responding signs or any crashes or any major lag or just a frozen screen with a dark screen or anything like a blank screen or anything, then we can just judge whether this Linux distro is good to install it on the main PC or work PC. So we can easily judge it on those stress tests. And also you just don't judge on the stress test. You need to like watch complete video. Like you need to see whether the CPU resources are high and the RAM resources are high, like a ISO file is stable. You need to consider all those aspects and decide whether to use this Linux distro or not. So don't just watch the stress test and judge it on those things, because most of the time stress test some of the Linux distro will be having some issues, but you need to check all the aspects and decide whether to install this Linux distro or not. So till now the CPU was the issue throughout the video, so I already showed. You should be watching throughout the video. So it's clearly up to you to judge whether to use this Linux distro or not. I showed everything whatever it's possible to show in the video. So I'm going to open bunch of applications here. So there are already a lot of applications opened in the background. So what else we left? Let me open the rhythm box. So every application is opening instantly without any issue. And also you need to remember that I have like a 8 GB of RAM and a CPU of 1240p, which is i5. So I'm more than a recommended requirement. So you need to understand that also. So let's check the system monitor and see how much of resources it's consuming. So it's consuming 3.4 GB of RAM, and the CPU is you need to ignore the CPU, because when we open all the applications at once, the CPU will the graph of the CPU will be showing a high peak. As soon as all the applications will be opened, you should be seeing a low graph here. So that will happen because all the applications are open and the graph will be pretty much stable now. So throughout the video the graph was high, low, so it's clearly up to you to judge whether to use it or not. So I said my final thoughts. So these are all the process running right now. So the GNOME desktop environment is kinda like a bit of minor laggy and it's like a hiccups here and there. So I think you need to go with some other desktop environment in my point of view. If you have like a good hardware specs, if you have a good NPC, you can go with the GNOME desktop environment. But if you have like a 2 GB of RAM or a low end PC, it's better to go with the other desktop environment like a Xfce instead of the GNOME desktop environment. So there are already videos in my channel of the Xfce desktop environment. So if you want to check it out, you can check it out. So let's try to switch the applications to see whether we see any lag or anything like that. So everything is opening instantly, just a minor delay and some bit of minor lag also. So I don't see any smooth experience, but everything is opening instantly. As you can see, there is like a minor lag and minor hiccups here and there. It's not a smooth experience, but it's still working without any issues. That's a good thing. So anything is properly working here. So let's check the version and end the video. So you get the LibreOffice version 7.4.7.2. So there are also updates available in the store, so you should be getting the latest version there. So here are the extensions you can customize according to your wish. So you already know how to customize and all those things. You can just click on settings, you can choose the toggle button, and you can customize according to your wish, like a menu style, menu button, and all those things. So I'm going to close it by just showing the about extensions 43.9, and I'm going to close it. So rhythm box you get is 3.4.6. Here is the file manager, you get the 43.2. You can go to the other locations, Pardus Linux. You already know how to customize, how to change and all those things in the GNOME desktop environment. So it will be a waste of time to show everything. So about VLC media player, you get the 3.0.21 and the Firefox, which I already showed in the beginning. In the activities, let's check the Synaptic Package Manager. Let's check the version first. So you get the latest version, which is 0.91.3. Let me scroll it down. So the installed packages will be highlighted with the green box. The package's name will be on the left side, the installed version will be on the right side, and the latest version available will be on the right side to the installed version. And about the description of that specific package will be on the complete right side. So you can just read it here, and if you want, you can install the packages. So these are all the packages available. You can just pause video, or you can change the playback speed to see everything in a slow-mo. You can do that by going to YouTube settings and change the playback speed to 0.25, and you should be good. Activities, let's check the GIMP version. You get the 2.10.34. Let's check other things. Here is the image writer. I'm going to close it. So what else we left is a software center. Let's check the software center. So you can install whatever you want here, like for example Google Chrome. You can install. Here is the information, package to install, required disk space, and all the information. You can get the description right here. You can read more. You can scroll it. You can choose the images, version, and all those things is right here. Here are the options. You can change the settings. You can also go with the statistics. I think it's going to take a bit of time here. You can suggest app, you can check the about information. Here is the about. Used operating systems, most downloaded. Here is the repos. Here are my apps. Here are the updates. So already showed the updates in the beginning. So you can scroll it down, you can choose any applications. Here you can get the information. And I think I'm going to end the video because I covered almost everything. So if I forgot anything, do let me know in the comment section. So there was no release note about the 23.2, but if I get any information, I'm going to provide in the description. So at the end of the video, it's a 2.1 GB of RAM, CPU is pretty much 20-25%. So it's clearly up to you to judge whether to use it or not. I said all my final thoughts and I showed without anything missing here. So my final thoughts are, there was some minor hiccups and a bit of delay, not a major delay, like a minor milliseconds of delay. Other than that, there was no issues. I didn't face any errors or anything. And also you need to remember that I have like a good specs, so that should be one thing also. If you have like a low-end PC, it should be you should be facing some issues. But in my case, I didn't face any issues, just a minor lag and delay, minor milliseconds delay. So that was the video of the Pardus Linux GNOME 43 and the GNOME 23.2 version. So I'm going to show you the logout screen and I'm going to end the video. So also I will be posting 2 videos daily. So the video one will be this one and the other video will be available in a few hours. So you should be seeing 2 videos daily without missing. If you want to consider subscribing, you can subscribe. So let's wait and see the logout screen. So it popped out, but we are seeing a black screen. Let's hope the logout screen will be visible now. Let's wait for a few more seconds here. So it automatically logged in instead of just moving the cursor, it automatically logged in. So I'm going to end the video here. Thanks for watching. Peace out.